before we look at any blue posts, screenshots, or graphics, I want to set some expectations because before this topic gets out of hand, it can get out of control like really fast. I'm not breaking down any leaks. I'm not predicting anything for Classic Plus. And this is not me telling you that Classic Plus is confirmed, that it's coming soon, or it's finished and it's about to go into PTR. This is just about what Blizzard has actually said and actually shown. The biggest problem with Classic Plus conversation isn't that people are excited, it's that speculation keeps getting repeated until it sounds official. And once that happens, expectations get built on things that Blizzard never even promised. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate three things very clearly. First, what Blizzard has officially communicated. Two, what Blizzard has visually hinted at. And three, what the community has filled in on its own. And we're not going to cross those lines. First thing that needs to be set up front, Classic Plus is not an official Blizzard term. Blizzard has never announced a game mode called Classic Plus. They've never used that phrase in a blue post, a presentation, or a roadmap. Classic Plus is a community label, a shorthand that people like us use to describe the idea of continuing Classic in some way that isn't just preservation and it isn't retail. That distinction really matters because everything we're about to talk about exists without Blizzard ever naming it that. With that out of the way, let's move on to the first real piece of concrete information. This is the blue post that gets referenced constantly in Classic Plus discussions. This was posted near the end of Season of Discovery, and it's important because it's Blizzard speaking directly about the future of Classic, not players guessing about it. Here's what Blizzard actually says in this post. They say that Season of Discovery exceeded expectations. They say it worked as an experiment, and they say that they learned a lot from it. They also make it clear that Season of Discovery was always meant to be temporary. It was never pitched as a permanent direction for Classic. It was a seasonal project designed to test new ideas inside the original World of Warcraft framework. And then they say something else that matters just as much. They say they are now shifting focus toward a new project in the original WoW design space, informed by what they learned from Season of Discovery. That sentence is doing a lot of work because while it does not announce Classic Plus, it does confirm something very important. Blizzard is actively working on what comes after Season of Discovery. That is a fact. What the post does not do is name that project. It does not explain whether it's seasonal or permanent. It does not describe features, scopes, or timelines. Anyone saying otherwise is adding information that isn't in the post. But what is clear is that Blizzard is no longer treating Classic as something frozen in time. That philosophical shift has already happened within Blizzard. Season of Discovery itself proved that Blizzard is willing to add new abilities, that it's willing to change class roles, introduce weird new raid content, and alter how Classic fundamentally plays. Those changes are no longer hypothetical, they already happened. Now let's move on to the second thing that people point to. This image comes from Blizzard's official year-in review content. This isn't fan art, this isn't data mine, this is Blizzard choosing how to visually represent the state and future of their games. It's also the most recent kind of hint at Classic Plus that we've gotten. Under the Classic section, you see a group of plus signs. No explanation, no label, no definition, but visuals are still communication. What this image clearly tells us is that Blizzard sees Classic as something with more ahead of it, not something that's finished or abandoned. What it does not tell us is what that more looks like. There's no confirmation here of expansions, no confirmation of Classic Plus as a named product, no confirmation of permanence or structure, just the message, Classic has a future. That's it. And that lines up exactly with what Blizzard said in the blue post. Now, something that comes up a lot and that people on Reddit correctly point out is that connecting these dots doesn't magically create new facts. Yes, Blizzard is experimenting. Yes, Blizzard is signaling future plans, but until Blizzard actually names the thing, it does not officially exist. Right now, Classic Plus is an idea, not a product. That doesn't mean Blizzard isn't thinking about it. It doesn't mean something like it won't ever happen. It just means Blizzard hasn't committed to anything publicly yet. They could be using their resources to develop it behind the scenes. They just haven't gone public. And that caution makes a lot of sense. The moment Blizzard's going to say Classic Plus is coming out, expectations are going to explode, and their other versions of Classic are going to decline. So instead, Blizzard is doing exactly what they've clearly preferred over the last few years. They've done small experiments, small seasons, limited commitments, and learning before making any final decisions. Look at it. Season of Mastery, Hardcore, Season of Discovery. Each one tested a different boundary of what Classic can be. So when you put all of this together, the blue post, the anniversary image, the seasonal model, the most honest conclusion you can draw is this. Blizzard is not done with Classic. Blizzard is actively planning what comes next. Blizzard has not announced Classic Plus. Everything beyond that is interpretation. There's also one last little hint to Classic Plus, and it was posted by Josh Greenfield, whose name is Aggrend officially on the forums. And it was when there was the big drama with the China servers, the Titan Reforged Realms. People were arguing that they're focusing more on China than they are focusing on America. So he made a post that says, I've risen from my slumber to repost this. It's very important. We've got a lot of really cool things in the works. And it was the WoW Classic dev saying that they still are working on something else for the Classic community in America. That post that they made for the Chinese community was just specific to China. That's where all the facts stop. If Blizzard announces something more concrete, we can talk about it then. Until they do, the responsible way to talk about Classic Plus is to acknowledge it for what it currently is, a name the community uses for a future project Blizzard has clearly left open, but has not defined it yet. That's all we really know. What I hope to do on this channel is to talk about cool things, develop good ideas, spark conversation in the community, because as Blizzard has shown us in the past, they do listen to what the community is saying. They will be involved in the Reddit posts. They will be involved in the YouTube comment section. So if there is something that you think is smart for Classic Plus, I encourage you to put it out there, put it in the comments below. If you liked this video, I'd tell you to like it. I'd tell you to subscribe, because I'm going to put a lot more Classic Plus content out. Also, TBC anniversary, I'm going to be in that. And yeah, throw a comment below if you liked it, or even if you hated it, please let me know. Oh, hey, you're still here. And just like I said in the last video, this is the Azeron Cyborg. It is the only way I play MMOs or any video games on the computer now, and it's awesome. It's got a whole bunch of programmable keys. It has actually made me average at PvP, which is saying a lot because I was pretty bad at it before then. It has a joystick that you can map to WASD. It's worth every single penny that I spent on it. My wife got it for me for Christmas, and I would encourage all of you guys to go out and buy it now. The link is in the description below. Full disclosure, if you use that link, then I'm going to get a little bit of money. So go down there and buy yourself an Azeron Cyborg.